की गौरताई की जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी आशाप्रदेशकारिणे. I'll sing some prayers before reciting, starting up today's discourse. Om Gyati Mandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshirum Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Ukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Nigayate Girim Yat Pipataham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Sapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamucha Shri Rupakatinatam Sadhana Tugunadhantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Krishna Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Lalita Shri Vishaka Pancha. So today I'm gonna recite about two of the great devotees and the acharyas in our sampradaya, Srila Rupa and Srila Sanatana Goswami. In our altar, from the Shad Goswamis in our altar, there is a picture on the extreme right. You will see the Shad Goswamis. In the Shad Goswamis, we have two of them we are going to talk about today. So their life is really inspiring, how they have lived their life. So I'm going to read about them a little bit. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Their life has been described a little bit about that. So I'm going to read a little bit on those two great personalities in our Sampradaya today. Why I choose to read about them? Because sometimes philosophies goes our head, but stories can really connect us with the real personalities. It can really connect us, and we can take away home the message how they live their life. So I will read. It's a few pages, okay, and I will stop and we'll have a discussion. If you guys have any questions in between, you can always stop me and we can discuss. But it is so relishing that I believe you can enjoy this amazing words of this. So how it's going to go is, it's a brief introduction little, and there's a commentary on that after that. So I'm gonna read that, a couple of pages, and you can understand the greatness of their lives. The two brothers, Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan, arouse all type of material happiness and comforts as being no better than the straw in the street. Previously, they were royal ministers in the court of the king of Gaudades, West Bengal. They possessed all kinds of opulence, including horses, elephant palaces, a huge treasury, and all kinds of wealth. Finally, they realized the happiness of the material world to be temporary and therefore useless. They left everything and went to Sri Vrindavan, where they continued to reside. There they have sustained their lives by whatever they could easily collect by the will of the Lord, and they were satisfied with whatever they obtained. They diverted their attention from the royal opulence to the groves and the forest of Raja, while exhibiting complete detachment from bodily sense enjoyment. They renovated the forgotten holy place of Sri Braj Bhumi and compiled books revealing the confidential truth of Sri Radha Krishna, and thus giving great satisfaction to the devotees and delivering the people in general. Commentary. Sri Rama becomes so absorbed in describing the renunciation of Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan that he described it in 5 lines of this verse. Then he realized that he did not describe the characteristics of their loving devotional service. Therefore, in the last line, he described their glorious position in the condensed form, indicating that Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatana were the acharyas of relishing the mellows of the devotional service to Sri Radha and Krishna. Their position as acharyas are also indicated by the author in the discussion of Sri Jiva Goswami and Srila Nath Bhatta. It is benefiting that the author has described Sri Rupa and Sanatan as being two exalted personalities that were highly exalted on the path of the Raga Bhakti. They had natural and spontaneous love and devotion for the Lord. By the influence of time, almost all the holy places of Braj Mandala has been lost to the memory of the people. Therefore, in those days, no one knew the actual glories of Sri Vrindavan and Sri Braj Bhumi. Sri Rupa and Sanatan excavated all the places of Krishna's pastime in Vraja, as they are described in Srimad Bhagavatam by Srila Sukadeva Goswami. So here, in 1500s, there is no one knew about Vrindavan. It was already there was no temples, no one knew about Vrindavan. So Sri Rupa and Sanatan actually goes there and discovered all the places and get the message to the world about the glories of Sri Radha and Krishna, and actual pastimes happened there. So what you see today, Vrindavan, that has been excavated again by Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. It was not actually known to the people before. It was already there from an eternal time, but it was actually brought up again to the people's memory by Sri Rupa and Sanatan. The method of worship the Lord was fully in accordance with the teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam. They were highly elevated devotees who worship the Lord in Madhurya Rasa, which is the essence of all rasa. On the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan resided near Sri Gopeshwara Mahadev for some time, and by the Lord's mercy, they compiled many devotional literatures which described the way and the means of engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. When one's mind and intelligence become absorbed in the discussion found in those literature, one will feel spiritual ecstasy as tears of love flow from his eyes. Once, as Sri Rupa Goswami was performing his bhajan at Kadamba Ter near Nandgaon, his elder brother Sri Sanatan Goswami came to see him from Vrindavan. Sri Rupa Goswami thought, "Today I will prepare delicious sweet rice, and after offering it to the Lord, I will give the prasad to my brother." Just then, Sri Radhika, who awards happiness to the devotees, arrived there in the form of a young girl, bringing with her all the necessary ingredients for cooking sweet rice. Sri Rupa quickly cooked sweet rice and offered it to the Lord. He then gave the Lord's remnant to Sri Sanatana, the partaking of which made him become intoxicated with the love of the God. Sri Sanatana asked, "How did you make the sweet rice? It has an extraordinary taste." In response, Sri Rupa narrated the whole story. After hearing everything, Sri Sanatana chastised his brother, saying that material desires had crept back into his consciousness, and so he had better firmly stick to the path of renunciation and detachment. As Sri Sanatana was speaking, tears of love flowed from both brothers' eyes. Once, as Sri Rupa Goswami was glorifying the beauties and the qualities of Sri Radha and Krishna in the assembly of Vaishnavas, the devotees become so overwhelmed with the love for the God that they almost lost consciousness. Still, Sri Rupa was a sober person who had no concern for his body due to absorption in the ecstatic love of God, and so he simply continued glorifying the Lordships. Indeed, displayed a most wonderful and highly elevated state of love of God, which was inaccessible even for the most learned knowers of devotional melodies. At that time, Sri Karnapura Goswami approached Sri Rupa from behind and observed him very closely. At first, he saw that Sri Rupa was completely normal and in good health, but then upon coming closer, when Sri Rupa's breath touched his body, he felt it like a fire and indeed left a blister on his body. Who can understand such manifestation of ecstatic love for the Lord? One night, the Lord Sri Govind Dev appeared to Sri Rupa in the dream, revealing his true identity. The Lord said, "I am buried under the earth at Gomatila. Every morning and every evening, a cow comes and performs my abhishek with her milk and thus nourishes me. So go there and you will understand everything." Accepting Lord's order, Sri Rupa discovered a deity of Sri Govind Dev, which is supremely enchanting. Indeed, nothing can be compared with his exquisite, transcendental beauty. As soon as one sees the deities of the Lord Govinda, his mind becomes filled with astonishment. Please have faith in these words. How far I can go to describe the glories of Sri Rupa and the beauty of Sri Govind Dev. The Rasika devotees meditate on Sri Radha Govind and his principal worshipper, Sri Rupa. Once, as Sri Sanatan was residing at Pavana Sarovar near Nandagram, He became so fully absorbed in his bhajana that for 3 days he didn't go out to the village for begging alms. Nor did anyone came to Pavan Sarovar. On the fourth day, a blackish young boy came to him with some milk for him to drink. Seeing the beauty of the young boy, Sri Sanatana mind became so captivated. He asked, "Where do you live?" The boy replied, "I live in Braja. We are 4 brothers. Sri Harideva in Govardhan, Sri Baladeva in the village, in this village, Sri Keshava Deva in Mathura, and Sri Govind Deva in Vrindavan. Our father's name is Sri Nanda." After the boy had left, Sri Sanatana's mind became very afflicted by the feelings of separation. And in an intense desire for the boy's return, finally he went to Nandagram and inquired at each and every house about the boy, but no one could say anything about Lord Hari in the guise of a young boy. Sri Sanatana looked everywhere but could not find the boy, and so his eyes became filled with tears. Sri Sanatana thought, if that boy ever comes again, I will not let him go. He especially was struck with the red turban on the boy's head. Indeed, he simply thought about the turban throughout the entire day and night. In his book, Kadu Pushpanjali, Sri Rupa Goswami has compared Sri Radha's braided hair to snake. When Sri Sanatan read this, he didn't like the comparison, considering that Sri Rupa had become deviated from the path of Bhava Bhakti by unnecessarily indulging in poetic expression. One day, Sri Sanatan was sitting on the shore of Radha Kund, performing his bhajan. He happened to see a swing hanging from the branch of a tree, and on that swing sat a young and blissful, fair-complexioned girl. Her companions were engaged in swinging her. He also saw a hooded snake behind a young girl, swaying from side to side. Sri Sanatana quickly ran towards the young girl to protect her from the snake. But when he came close, he saw that it was not a snake at all, but her braided hair. Just then, the scene of the girl on the swing suddenly disappeared from his vision. He could clearly understand this. He could clearly understand that this has been none other than the young Sri Radhika enjoying a swing festival with her friends, and that she has enacted this pastime to remove my doubt. Having seen Sri Radhika's braided hair and understanding that description of Sri Rupa was correct, Sri Sanatana was astonished and offered respect to younger brother. Indeed, Sri Sanatana went to his brother Sri Rupa and circumambulated him. When Sri Rupa saw Sri Sanatana circumambulating him, he became fearful and grabbed hold of his feet. Sri Sanatana picked Sri Rupa and embraced him with love and affection. In this way, both brothers constantly remained absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love. Their characteristics are indescribable. Their fame has spread throughout the entire world. One should meditate upon these activities and characteristics. There's more to it, but I will stop and say a few words. So, both of them are our great acharyas giving us the teachings. Sanatana Goswami was from a very rich family. He was a minister, a prime minister in West Bengal, Gaudadesh, where the king was. And the king, there's Muslim rulers and he's changed their name. one day they had a realization that what they are doing. So they left their work and met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He instructed them the Bhakti Yoga. The teaching from their life is they have all the position, all the opulence, all the power. But they was able to leave everything for Krishna and they live a mendicant life in Vrindavan. How it is possible that having all the opulence, we get a little bit and we get puffed up, but having all the opulence and everything, but still they were able to leave everything and surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna. Few things we can learn from their life is first is the blessing of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Guru and devotees. Unless we have the blessing of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, we cannot lead on the path of bhakti. Second thing is we need someone who can awaken us in this material world we are stuck in. Because we think that we can find all the happiness in this material world. But somehow, when the real realization comes that this is all temporary and it will go one day, and we should seek something permanent which will stick with us for a long time. Staying in Vraj Bhumi, Vrindavan, still how Sanatana Goswami, the love of Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, how they are helping each other in the bhakti. Always Sanatana Goswami is thinking that if Rupa Goswami is doing any mistake, he will try to correct him. But Rupa Goswami was also very enlightened soul. We have read from the stories that he think that he got egoistic or materialistic, is making some mistake in his poetry, is trying to correct him. But Krishna have done his pastimes to correct Sanatana Goswami also, that it was his Leela going on. We can learn a lot from their life, that how to live at a certain point, having all the opulence, but understanding the real purpose of life. We all need to be understand the real purpose of life. The real purpose is to awaken the love for God, awaken the love for Krishna, and to do devotional service. Once our goal becomes firm and clear that we have to serve, engage in the devotional service, and please Guru and Gauranga, slowly and slowly Krishna will show us all the means and direction. Second thing we can learn from their life is how Krishna and Radharani reciprocates if we completely surrender at the lotus feet. Krishna will show all his leelas to you once we completely surrender at the lotus feet. It is true, because the Govind Dev Ji's deities has how Krishna has directed them to, there is my deities, go and get those deities out from Brajdham. There are so many temples in Brajdham, Vrindavan, that the deities are not being carved out of a stone. It's all been excavated. The Banki temple deities was not being carved. One of the example. By Haridas Thakur's bhajana, Lord was so happy, he came out from the Shila. Similar way, there are main 5 temples. So the deity worship, sometimes we think that how we're going to reciprocate with deities. But we need to understand there is no difference between God and the deities. It's no difference. Once we have that complete surrender, have that faith, Krishna reciprocates with us in all the means. It is Krishna is looking about our feelings, how we have an exchange of our feelings with Lord Krishna and Hari. With a complete surrender. What does that surrender means? I always say surrender. My Gurudev says surrender means not feeling yourself, I'm in control of life. We always think that we are in control. I can do this, I can do that. But surrender means Krishna is giving me an intelligence and an energy. And I am becoming a means to do all the actions. So that is the real surrender. That not thinking that I am on the driver's seat, thinking that I am sitting on the passenger's seat back in the car and he's a driver. And he knows where is my real destination. If I just stay calm, quiet at the back, he's going to take me where is my real destiny. Not always instructing, take me this way, take me that way. It is just our desires which is taking us in the different directions. Our only desire is to serve Krishna. We can have all the material things in our life, but use those material things in the service of the Lord. So this attitude of devotees, we can slowly and slowly embed in our life to really make our life perfect. But the chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is one of the foremost duty in the age of Kali Yuga. When we are chanting the holy name of the Lord, this is also one of the devotional service. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, we are cleaning our heart. We always seek love in this material life. We are social beings. We always say we are social beings. So we always seek companionship as a child, parents. As we grow in our life, a wife, kids. So we always seek a companionship. And what we are really seeking is a love. But are we getting that real love from there? That is a perverted version of love that Prabhupada says is a perverted. It's a form of a lust. A real love exists in Radha and Krishna, Gaurata. That is a real love. That's a reciprocation of love. When we offer them anything with a pure love and affection, Krishna reciprocates with us. Why we are suffering is we want to satisfy our senses and desires, but we are never able to satisfy that. And the desire starts from 5 vikaras: Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ankar. So Kam it starts from lust, Kam. Krodh is anger. So in Bhagavad Gita it says, from lust anger arises. Lobh, greed. Greed will come and then in the body, with the anger. Moh, attachment. We have the attachment to the other things. When we have any possessions, we have attachments to them. Then ahankar. Then the ego arises within our body. This is me and mine. This is a whole process. Once we understand the root cause of our suffering is attachments, and it comes from the lust, which is a perverted version of love. Once we understand the root of it, and we try to awaken the pure love within us for the Lord, then our life is transformed. The perspective should be changed. We can do all the actions in this material world, but the perspective towards it changed. We can have a food, a nice food, and offer to Krishna. First we can offer to Krishna and have it. So similar way, all our actions, all our things in our life, we can attach to Krishna. Prabhupada says, keep Krishna in the center of our life. When Krishna is in the center of our life, everything will come in the sync. When we do anything for somebody, there is no suffering. My Gurudev gives a very beautiful example. It's also written in Bhagavatam. He says it's like a job. You go on a job and you're working for an owner, and he gives you some task to do, and you do the task very nicely. You're not caring about the results of the task. Whether the owner will make profit of it or loss out of it, you don't care. You did your task, you came home, you get paid, and you can serve your family. But you're not affected by the profit and loss of the company. The similar way, you should not be affected, because when we have the expectation of the results, we feel we will be having a disappointment in our life. The Karma Yoga theory explained in Bhagavad Gita is very simple. To live a happy and blissful life, don't have that attachment to your actions. Just do it for Lord. Your job is to do the karma. But we need to do it for somebody. We should do the karma but not have the attachment to the results. But the missing point is that if we don't think that I am doing this for myself, there is no ego, there is no attachment, not I am doing for myself, I am doing for the service of the Lord, then there is no expectation for the results. When there is no expectation, there is no suffering. There is no happiness and distress, because you are neutral. It's hard to practice, but the first step is the knowledge. Once we have this knowledge, we slowly start practicing it. It will give us a peace. Something bad happens to you, some people think this is will of the Lord, and you still slows down. Your agitation of the mind slows down. Right? So similar way, it's about building the right mindset. How we build our right mindset to approach life. Why we are seeking drugs, why we are seeking intoxications all the time, why we need to go to the parties and clubs, because we are seeking pleasure. Is there a real pleasure there? Because you get a high when you do all this activity. The moment you come back, you feel low. But the real pleasure, which is constant, is in the holy name of the Lord, which we can all see in our practical life. If you start chanting even one round in the morning, you'll feel the huge difference in your life. But chanting the holy name of the Lord, you're associating with the Lord. And this is the real love. And we can awaken that pure love within ourselves. Why we are not able to see and understand that pure love? What's the reason? That we are not able to feel that love for the Lord. It's already there. We just need to awaken it. And the process of awakening, we call it yoga. Yoga means the union of you with the Lord. And the process is chanting the holy name of the Lord. It's simple. Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam Kevalam, Kalu Naste, Kalu Naste Hi Anyatha. So in the Kali Yuga, in this Yuga, the only way to awaken the love for the Lord is by chanting the holy name. You can practically observe in your life, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, your material desires will start slowing down. You feel more calm, you feel more relaxed. We can practically observe and experience this thing in our life. It's so simple process given to us by Prabhupada. But chanting the holy name, that's why Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. We have a book named Chant and Be Happy. Just the chanting of the holy name will help us to transcend. And you can completely feel that bliss within us. It's a challenge for everyone who is not chanting. Just chant one round every day for the next 1 month. You will see the whole difference in your life. Complete difference. Because there is no better than holy name. There is a whole spiritual science in the process. And research has already, there is some research has been done, it's already giving us, putting us in the direction that people feel huge difference in their life. So chanting the holy name of the Lord is a key in the process of bhakti. And that has been said by all the acharyas. Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came to start the Sankirtan movement. By collectively chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can feel that complete bliss. You see the people coming and dancing here, singing together. How you feel? You cannot feel the same bliss in going to any club or dance bar. This is a real bliss. You can feel completeness here. So I will stop a bit and ask for all the reflections, questions you have from everyone.
I have a question. You said that you shouldn't, we always hear this, you shouldn't be attached to results, our results. But for example, if we put a lot of effort of something and the result is bad, maybe this is a sign that I should change my activity or just change my path and do something else.
We can do an action. We should not feel disappointed first. We can definitely refine the process to make things better. We should always be enthusiastic to make things better in our life, to get some results. Something is not working, yes, we can refine the process to get some results, but we don't feel discouraged or disappointed or feel bad like why results are not coming. We can only pray to Krishna in that situation. I'm trying to serve you in some way. Please show me the direction. Give me the intelligence so that I can serve you in a better way. We can only ask for intelligence. We should not ask, please, Krishna, take away this problem from me. Problems are in our life because of our past karmas. We should ask Krishna, please give us enough intelligence and strength so that we can pass this hurdle.
Thank you. I have a second question. What is the difference between lust and love?
I just had an experience on that matter. Love and lust.
Lust, I want it. Love, I want to give you this. That's it. I don't want anything in return. If you want something from that person, if you want this, I want you to do this for me or that for me, or in any way, like something coming towards you, you're probably looking for to have. In love, as Radharani does for Krishna, everything for him, not asking anything in return.
That's right. So Krishna says Hari Kesha. So lust is we want to satisfy our own senses. When we want to satisfy our own senses, that is lust. When we want to satisfy the Lord's senses, to satisfy the Lord by our service, that is love. So when you think beyond yourself, that is love. When you're thinking of me and mine, that is lust.
Can I give another example on it? So like one of the poet, I was reading the one poetry and then after I came across the one good quote. So in that like the poet was walking towards the garden and like he saw the beautiful flower over there. So the poetry was saying that like the lust. So if you like this or if you like, do you have a lust regarding this thing? You wanna pluck this flower up and you're gonna take it with you. But if you try it, like if you love this thing, if you love that flower, you're gonna come every day over there, you're gonna give water and like whatever the fertilizer is required to blossom in a very good way. So like they are differentiate the lust and love by just giving the example of growing some flowers over there.
Nice.
So that's also example of lust and love.
Yes.
I have a question. So what inspired you to want to speak about Rupa and Sanatana Goswami? Is there specific, like, I could see you were relishing reading about them and about their lifestyle. Is there something specifically that hits the spot for you?
Their life is by itself an example in a way that how we should see ourselves going forward. They have all the opulence, but they was able to left everything behind and completely absorb themselves in bhakti. The challenge with all of us is we are leading our life, but it's hard for us to go on the other side of the bridge. How they have strictly abide by the principles and completely absorb and get the mellows of the Lord. What we are seeking. So I'll give you an example of a man. Some person can have a goal of making 100,000. Somebody can have a goal of making $100 billion. Somebody can have a goal of making $1 billion. Okay. What is our goal in Krishna consciousness? We need to ask ourselves how far we want to go. So this is the example of extreme. They are setting the example of extreme. What is it? They are acharyas. We cannot go there. We cannot definitely compare ourselves with them or like imitate them. But when we read the stories of great acharyas, we say is that we start getting some qualities. So when I read about the devotees, I start crying. Sometimes when I feel low, I just start opening and reading about the acharyas, and then I get absorbed. Then I feel like I just want to leave everything and go to Vrindavan. So sometimes you need to have those moments when you feel like you have everything and you just want to let go everything and go back.
And your wife says, no, Vrindavan, we have to go to work tomorrow. Have some duties. Can't leave to Vrindavan yet. Vrindavan Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Actually, in the morning, we're reading Bhagavatam with the Shankar Prabhu, and we're talking about the importance to do service for the Krishna devotees. So as soon as you do the service to Krishna devotees that they're very pleased of Krishna, we're gonna receive a love of Krishna. So, like inspiring from Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. So, this is one of the examples to be to get Krishna love, because we're engaged with the austerities and the realization of Krishna realization, because the heart of Krishna is belong to his devotees. If we ask for Krishna love, actually we have to please his devotees first. All the time, actually. And
that is very true, Prabhu, that Bhagavad is also written that Krishna says, if you want to serve me, serve my devotees. You can serve me by serving through the devotees. That is very true. Very true.
Hare Krishna. I had a question about how do you balance materialistic and like spiritual, like Krishna conscious life. Like it's hard. Personally, it's hard for me because you gotta go work, make money, but at the same time, some days you don't get time for, like you said, chanting or meditation or any other spiritual activities. So how do we balance this on a day-to-day basis? Thank you.
So to answer your question, we need to understand the priority. We need to prioritize. What is the priority? Okay. Bhagavatam says, with the sunrise and sunset, we are going one day closer to the death. And if you haven't chanted the holy name, that day is waste. That day is complete waste. So what is a priority in your life? So if you make chanting the holy name a priority in your life, that is the first priority. You should not. You can skip the meal, but you should chant. Once you have that priority, so you have the priority to take a bath every day, to brush your teeth every day, right? You have the priority to have 3 meals a day to nourish your body. So why not you have the priority to nourish your soul. We are giving food, we are giving clothes, we are maintaining this body, but what about the soul? What is the food for the soul? The food for the soul is chanting the holy name of the Lord. Okay? So we also have, if we have a priority to nourish this body, we should make a first foremost priority in our life to nourish this soul. Nothing is gonna go with you once you pass away from this material world. There is nothing material gonna go with you. Only your holy name, your sukriti, the how much you have chanting the holy name, the sukriti you have collected, the love of the God is gonna go. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, if you are not able to complete the journey in this lifetime by chanting the holy name, you're gonna perfect your life. Your next life you're gonna start from there. But let's say you have a lot of money in this life, in next life you're not gonna start from there. You're gonna start from zero. But if you have a lot of holy name collected in this life, next life you're gonna start from there only. So what is permanent? The chanting of the holy name, what you're taking with you is the permanent. Material things are temporary. Today you have it, tomorrow you don't have it. Okay? So prioritizing the first thing. The second thing is, we can do all the actions. Again, it's a mindset. We don't think that we are doing this, all the actions, our work and everything for our own satisfying the senses. Mindset is, we are gathering all the resources by working outside in the service of the Lord. We are maintaining a house to serve the Lord, to have the deities in the house. You make the house as a temple, have the deities in the house and serve them every day. That the house becomes a temple. So you're gathering all the resources for the service of the Lord. You're bringing food at home to cook that food for the Lord. You're doing the same thing, but the perspective toward the life has been changed. I'm gathering food for the Lord. I'm gathering resources for the temple. I'm wife and kids to give them enough education for the kids and grow as a Vaishnava so that they can serve the society. So we can put Krishna in the center and do all the actions, and we can perfect our life. I hope I nicely answered your question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Vrindavan Prabhu. Let's give our speaker a round of applause. Just continuing on the point that Vrindavan Prabhu was saying, just make it a priority. Just chant the holy names of the Lord. But you've already made some priority because you're all here today. You've come. And Srila Prabhupada, founder of International Society of Krishna Consciousness, he really, just like in the spirit of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, right, to give, to uncover, he made a facility for us all over the world to come together and have an opportunity of becoming the iron rod that goes into the fire and takes on the quality of that fire. And simply by having association of the holy name, but even more so of other like-minded individuals, bhaktas, bhakti yoga practitioners, by tasting prasadam, having food that has been offered, is directly Krishna, being able to ingest the mercy of the Lord. These are all ways that we can help get the desire and help, because sometimes it's just also a matter of, yes, we'd like to get balance, but we're just missing a little bit of determination. It's a challenge for us. But again, if you come and you make it a priority to come to the temple, to come associate with other bhaktas, then this desire is going to start to burn more. This iron is going to get set on fire, and then it'll become insatiable. And you just can't wait until you come to the temple again, until you meet the devotees. And I see that a lot of devotees here that come regularly to the temple, they just for some reason can't stay away. And I wish I had that more also. I see that and I get inspired and I want to come and come to the temple regularly. So it's a very simple process, and that's all it is. So we invite you, we have lots of opportunities. We have a festival that's also coming up, which even before that, like a pre-festival, we have Canada Day, which is going to be July 1st. And we go near the National Art Center and we chant for the whole day. And there's prasadam, there's guests that come from Montreal, from Toronto, and we just have a really great time chanting the holy names of the Lord. And then The next festival is going to be Vaishnava Sangha Festival, which is about 4 hours away from here. And it's like a 4-day retreat where we come together to chant and dance, and we have speakers coming from all over the world. And it's really a nice experience. And then we also on the horizon, we've got Ratha Yatra that's coming September 16th, which is a little bit ways away, but we're already starting to get into the planning phase for that. That's going to be here locally. And so we invite you to come and participate. Also, as I'm just looking at this wall, I'm looking at, wow, there's some nice color on the wall here. Roy Prabhu has taken the time to make some nice posters just to make it accessible to keep the programs that are going on a regular basis. So one of our big initiatives that has been launched just last year, beginning of this year, was the Temple Rebuild Project. And so on the wall there, if you like, you could just come and you just take your phone and you scan your camera, and it goes and it gives you an easy way to be able to donate. Also, for other services at the bottom, we have another link, which is our general account. And that's if you want to make donations for flowers, to sponsor a Sunday Feast program, or for book distribution, or for anything, you can do that simply by scanning. It's really, really easy. I know before it was like we were fundling, how does the square machine work? Does anybody have the password? So Roy Prabhu made it accessible for us, so you could just go to the wall and just scan if you would like to make a donation. And on that note, I also wanted to thank, we have some sponsors today, the Chadha family. Thank you so much. Round of applause. Thank you for sponsoring the program. And we're going to continue right now with having a little more Kirtan and then Prasadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much for your enthusiastic participation. So now the curtains will be closing shortly. So if you'd like to come and get some up close association of their lordships, feel free to do so. We'll make some prayers, and prasadam will be served shortly. Hare Krishna. Oh, we have announcements.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So wonderful to see you all. Next Saturday, there will be a class at 4:30 p.m. at Ottawa. If you're a part of the WhatsApp group, you should have went out already. Same thing with the newsletter. If you aren't part of the WhatsApp group or the newsletter, there's you can scan that code right there at the one at the bottom. It says "Stay connected and help support temple services." Once you're there, it should give you all the different links by which you can stay in touch. And if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, just drop by. We'll just make the walk from here at 4:15 next Saturday, and we'll go over to Ottawa and have the class. And if there's any questions, please do ask. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhu is saying, Harinam, it's nice and sunny outside. So if anybody would like to come out with us and chant for a little bit, who knows where the Spirit will carry us. We're going to try to go out, leave by 6 o'clock. So if anybody wants to join us right now, you're going to be here, Prabhu, right? Awesome. All right, well.